Hello everyone, it's Michelle, the Dreaming Dilettante, and I'm coming out with a continuation of my collage paper painting process. So this is a follow-up to last week's video. I'll link that in the description below if you want to check it out. But basically, all I'm doing is slapping some paint down on this manila paper that I have. I have my canvas, or my little paper plate here that I'm going to use. I'm literally continuing this from last week. So I was working last week and I'm still filming. This is like the same day for me, but next week for you. So what I'm going to do is just grab out of my box randomly some colors. I'm not worried about making mud or anything like that. And I'm just going to put the colors I've already used today or last week off to one side, so that I can have a play with something else and try something different. And it looks like I've got lots of browns here, so we're gonna see where we go from here. So I'm just gonna squeeze out some colors. How are you? If you didn't get a chance to watch last week's video, I am very excited about making popcorn journals. And if you want to know what a popcorn journal is, you can go watch that video. No, I'll tell you. I was talking about making time for creativity and how sometimes, you just want to sit and veg and stream your videos, right? Binge watch that next season, and that's all cool. But I thought, well, what if, you're making your popcorn to sit down and binge watch, and before you, I just put down 2 browns, didn't I? And before you do that, while your popcorn's popping, you make some marks in a journal, or you create something in a journal. Just something, right? It doesn't matter what. And I thought, ooh, we could call it a popcorn journal. And because I'm still filming this from before, look, I actually have a box from popcorn. And I was mentioning how Jennibellie has a tutorial, and I'll link that. So if you're like, I want to make this popcorn journal today, go do it. I'll have a link in the description, and you can see, because she's the one who taught me how you can use cardboard boxes. I mean, I've seen other videos since, and from people, but I don't know if she was the original, but that was the coolest thing I ever saw when I was really first starting to watch like crafters on YouTube and that kind of thing. I was like, what? You can use a cardboard box to make a book? That is awesome. And she has lots of videos using old greeting cards and all kinds of things. So, yeah, you can go check that out. But I thought it'd be fun to make a popcorn journal. I noticed I was doing a lot of sideways stuff, so I'm going to try to change it up. And you can call it that. So it's while you put your popcorn in the microwave, and the 2 minutes it takes or whatever for it to pop. I have an old microwave. Maybe they're faster. I don't know. Maybe it's the newer ones are faster. Mine is like, oh God, 20-something years old. But maybe you're making your popcorn and you can just pull out your journal and slap down some paint or some sketches or whatever and see what happens. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I feel like I want to like make some marks. And you can do these in layers. I mean, of course, there's no rules, right? But you can do this in layers. So you could just cover it with one color and then come back with a second color and then put textures as a third layer, whatever works for you. I tend to work on the page until I'm over it. I feel like I don't want to do any more on this page. And it's just like, oh, this feels done. There's no logic. Like now, I feel like I want to add some yellow. So even though I'm trying not to think much about these, if something jumps out at me like, ooh, yellow, put some yellow in, I'm going to run with it, because that is, to me, I'm listening to my intuition, and that's always a good thing. Let's see. I have, so this is some bubble wrap. And I'm just going to kind of cut off a piece, although now that I think about it, I think I had a piece cut off. That's okay. So what are you working on? Are you you working on anything? Are you eating popcorn? It's not like I'm addicted to popcorn. I'm not. Although I do enjoy it. It's one of my favorite snacks. But I wonder what you're having a play with. I love this kind of creating for me. And I like not having to problem solve or to think, and just to be able to connect. It reminds me what my intuition feels like, what that voice within, however you choose to identify that voice. You know, for me, I view it as God, source. But you know, whatever works for you, it just allows me to connect with that knowing, that part of me that like knows what to do. You know, I like that. I feel like it needs a splatter. Do you think it needs some splatters? You're probably like, no, it's fine, leave it alone. I can't. I just can't stop it. I'm gonna put this paintbrush in some water and see what happens. And some gray paint, let's see. Yeah, it's fun. I'm probably getting paint all over me. I need to get an apron for this. I actually have one. I just don't know what I do with it. But yeah, for me, that part of me that just knows is what tends to come out when I'm painting like this. And then it's like I remember the root to it, you know? Like when I'm doing this, it's like, oh wait, I remember how to get there. I remember how to get to that part of me that knows. Because it's so easy as we're going about our days to forget how to get to that part, you know. And whether you pray, meditate, a combination thereof, like I do, whatever it is that you do, even when you do that, right? Sometimes you still feel like, ugh, I don't know. I don't remember where I'm at. Like I don't know how to hear it. I know it's there. Sometimes it feels like, if you remember back in the day, like tuning a radio dial, and you're kind of like just a little this way, a little that way, and you still straining to hear. I feel like that sometimes. I really do. And it's like, I know it's there. I'm trying to keep some of that, but I'll probably end up covering it up. I keep saying I want to keep it. And when I do this, it's like I remember, oh, right, that's what you have to do. That's how you connect. And sometimes, you know, sometimes it doesn't work, but almost always it works. And if nothing else, it usually makes me feel better. Turn off the thinking for a while. I like that. I'm going to keep that. And like this one, I think I'm going to add to it, but I don't know what to do with it for right now. So we're going to put it aside. And I'm running out of space. It's on the floor too. I think I might try to just use up all the papers that I randomly grabbed and go from there. And dig into some brown here. And you could totally just keep these, right? And I might just do that. I think I'm going to stay at the top and then keep that. Maybe I'll do something different with it. Stick some spent washi. That might be fun. So yeah, tell me what you're working on or what you're thinking about working on. Oh, made mud, which I'm using kind of a brown anyway, so I think it's fine. I thought it was going to add more yellow. Yeah, that's things, right? You think it's going to do one thing and sometimes it doesn't. It's all good in the end. All good in the end. Let's see. I can't stop with this stroke. It's like it just feels like I just want everything to sweep. I wonder. I'm thinking of Bob Ross now. Happy little clouds and trees. loved watching him as a kid. I still have the easel that my mom bought me when I was watching Bob Ross. I decided I was going to be a painter. And my mom worked with a woman who was an artist, and so she had given her a list of all the stuff I needed. It was all oil-based stuff. I didn't know what I was doing. And as a kid, you know, you have this stuff, and you're like, cool, I'm going to paint, and it's going to look just like that. And it did not look just like that. As a result, I quickly lost interest. But I would pick it up from time to time. I think I always knew I would come back to it at some point. Just adding some white here, because I feel like I need a little specks of white. And now I still have that easel. My daughters used it. Oh, look, they're getting kind of like a lavender color from the purple. That's fun. This is one of those situations where I should stop. But I'm not going to. I'm going to do more. For me, this is just about the enjoyment of playing. I don't think we play enough. And I'm going to leave that just to see what happens. But I feel like it's so important to play and not have to, you know, as adults, it's always like, well, what's the point of that? What are we going to use it for? How is it going to be beneficial? All cool skills, but I feel like we need to just, you know, I like to paint. I like to play with art supplies. So does it have to be anything? Right? Does it have to be anything in particular? I don't think so. Doesn't have to be. Could be. Might yet be. Right now, just having some fun. And I just keep dipping, in case you're wondering what I'm doing over here. I know a lot of it's off camera with the water. I'm just dipping into some water to kind of make my acrylics move. But, you know, these are not, I think this is still considered like a student grade. I've had these paints for a long time. I got them as a gift. And it was a gift from me. It was a Christmas present. But it was, they're not overly expensive. I mean, you can absolutely do this with, you know, inexpensive craft store paint or markers. We should pull out some markers. That might be fun. I'm going to grab some brown on here, some white. Yeah, that's fun. Maybe that's what I should do for next week's video. Maybe we should make some colored papers. It almost looks, does that look impressionistic to you? It does to me. I'm not an art connoisseur though. As if there were a doubt. I like what I like. But yeah, maybe we'll do that for next week. We'll make some colored papers. Or painted papers, or collage papers, or whatever we'll call them, with markers. Or, you know. I love my tempera paint sticks. Those are so much fun. But I think it would be fun to do this, at least, you know, however long I'm going to work on these pages with you guys for. I think it would be fun to do it with like supplies that are, you know, easy to substitute. You know, you may not have these paints, but you could have paint. You could do it with watercolor if that's what you have. But it's just about now for taking, all we're trying to do is take about 20 minutes together, have somebody to craft with and chat with, and, you know, have a little fun, make some mess, pull out your supplies. Maybe use some of the supplies that you have and you're like, I don't know what to do with these. I haven't done anything with these. And just pull them out and see what comes. I think I'm going to do some more over this, but for the purposes of this video, I really just want to try and two more papers here that I'm going to just try to cover up with some paint. But I think I'm going to have to reload. I'm going to add some more here. And now I'm kind of picking my favorites, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, let me know if there's Prussian blue. Let's do some of that. If there's a supply you'd like me to try to make some papers with, that might be fun. And I can try. Because I love collage. Collage is probably my favorite thing. I love making things out of collage, and I have lots of ideas for things to do with collage. So having quite a bit in the way of collage papers is something that I need, and I'm going to work on. So yeah, if you have any ideas for a material that you want me to try out, let me know. If I have it, I will give it a go. And what do you like to use for painted papers? Or do you make painted papers, or do you do collage with other mediums, like maybe junk mail or something like that, which is fun. Old magazines. I get like catalogs sometimes that you can use for collage. Background papers and things like that. All right, one more. And then I think that should put us around our 20-minute mark. So I'm going to try something a little different with this one. It has a decent amount of color on it already. And then, as I said last week, I'm going to keep working on these. And I'll share with you, maybe I'll do like a flip through. I'm so glad I thought to pick up this brush. It's really fun. It's giving me some really cool texture. And I'll do a flip through when I've considered them all done. I might bring you along for some of them. I don't know if this will get boring every week just watching me paint paper, but we'll see. Maybe we'll take a break and do our popcorn journals and then see where we go from there. All right, I feel like I've used up my paint. I think that's a cool stopping point. So I hope you had fun. I hope you had a chance to have a play with your supplies and get a little paint on your hands. That's always a good sign. I know some people really hate getting messy. I do that a lot, so if it bothers you, that's something I love, being covered in paint. I like having the reminder of my painting time. I think that's what it is, and it feels like if it's all messy that I've had fun. Probably says a lot about my personality, right? You have to have a mess to have fun, right? All right, well, that is it for this week. I hope you had fun. I hope you're able to make some of your own painted papers. And please do, share with me. You can check out in the description. I'll have a link to the accompanying blog post for this. So feel free to come on over and to the site and share what you're working on, because I would love to see it. All right, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.